friend, Daniel here with StockMusicLicensing.com, bringing you the best tips and strategies for selling your music on royalty-free libraries. Now, this track is a forgotten track of mine. I use this track from my podcast. The new episode of the podcast is out today. Every single Friday, 9 o'clock, Greek local time, the podcast goes out. Link in the description for the podcast if you want to listen to a different format, if you will, when it comes down to stock music licensing brand. You know, here in the YouTube channel, I do videos which are a little bit shorter, obviously, because of the format of YouTube. In the podcast, I go a little bit more in depth and talk about different aspects of music licensing. So link in the description if you want to go and listen to the podcast. I got an email the other day asking me about the music that I use on my podcast, if these music tracks have written them specifically for the podcast or if I have them on libraries. And the answer to that is that I have them on libraries, with the exception of this particular track. Track that I composed some time ago, and I have even done a workshop explaining on how I do this particular track. How do I compose music? And this is a very atmospheric track, if you will. To me, it sounds a little bit like post-rock kind of vibe, inspirational music track. But this track has been forgotten. It has never been uploaded. So I compose it, I create content around the track, I use it on my podcast. I've done a workshop for the members in the SML Mastermind private community with this particular track as an example. But I realized that I don't have it on my account. I don't have them on my catalog on Pond5 or Audio Jungle in various libraries. So I'm going to be uploading this track actually. It's done, it's ready. I've done it a long time ago, and it's just one of those forgotten tracks that is not up for sale. And I'm leaving some cash on the table for sure, because this track works really well. The track that I use in the podcast, I have an intro track, which is this one. Welcome to the Stock Music Licensing Podcast, the #1 resource for creating passive income selling stock music online. I'm your host, Daniel Carrizales, and I'm here to help you monetize your compositions. All right, welcome to episode 75 of the Stock. And this particular track, I did it 2 years ago, actually. It's a upbeat rock and roll type of track, or pop rock, if you will. And I was using the same track as an outro to the podcast. But then I changed it to this one, and this is a perfect outro to the podcast when I'm, wrapping up pretty much the episode, and I'm just finishing. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in another episode. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success. And I think it works really well. But yeah, it got me thinking when I received that email from this composer that it was asking me about the music that I use on my podcast. And it got me thinking, like, actually the music track that I have on the outro is not out for sale. And it should, okay? But that being said, I use all of my music that I have online for sale on Audio Jungle and Pond5. I use it as well for my content. I use it from my YouTube channel. I use it on my podcast. I use it on pretty much everywhere. And it's a way for me to not only promote it as well, but it's a way of, if I'm a content creator, I don't need to really purchase music or to download music from somewhere else, really, as a composer. So yeah, that's really something that got me thinking because of an email, the forgotten track. And, it's just one of those things. So I just went now to Logic, and I'm just going to really just bounce it and upload it immediately, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be uploaded. I mean, everything that I use is already online, and this is a perfect track for me. I'm really happy with it. Really simple track as well. It has a lot of layers of different guitars, and it creates this big atmosphere. And I'm using just very basic, clean sounds, and as well a piano and some drums. Nothing here complicated, just simplicity. It's the name of the game, obviously. But yeah, go and check out the podcast again. I just want you to go and check it out if you're not aware of the Stock Music Licensing Podcast. The content for the podcast is native to the podcast. I don't grab the audio of YouTube and put it into the podcast. It's native content for the podcast, and the same is with YouTube. The YouTube content is just original content here for YouTube, for this platform. Leave us a review there as well on iTunes. If you hear the bells now, I got a church here really close to the house. Today is Friday, Easter Friday, Orthodox Easter here in Greece today. I don't know if you can hear it. So every half an hour or so, they just ring the bells. Yeah, so it's an amazing day today. It's a festive day. Later on as well, this is a quick vlog by the way. Later on today I have a live session, a live call with the members of the SML Mastermind group, private community. If you want to learn about that, link in the description as well. Yeah, just a quick Friday vlog on Easter Friday here in Greece, Orthodox Greek Easter. Yeah, we're going to be celebrating today as much as we can. We're still on lockdown, like you know. We're able to go outside, but not we can't really get together with anybody. But we're going to be celebrating today, Friday, for sure. But yeah, just a quick vlog. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I love you all very, very much. Thank you for all the comments and all the feedback. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. And if you're somebody that is new to music licensing and to royalty-free libraries, download my free guide, link in the description. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.